afternoon, everybody. Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the Mailman, not driving. I am not driving today. We are on the road. We are in Maryland as we speak. We're almost at our destination. Just got done watching the Micah Parsons, Stephen A. Smith podcast. And I've been kind of rough on Micah lately. So I just want to, say for the record, I want Micah here long term. You always want to have the value of your player. You always want to know what your player's value is. But after hearing him, and, I get a certain vision of idea or think about Micah a certain way until I hear him speak. And boy, was it uplifting and encouraging, to say the least. Very impressed with him. I think he's misunderstood. He's young. You don't want to deal with all the fans right now. I think he'll be better with that. But listening to the podcast, and I definitely advise you guys to go on YouTube and find the Stephen A. Smith, Micah Parsons. It's about 46 minutes. Micah, here's one thing for sure. He's making no excuses. No excuses at all. He actually had a sit down with Jerry Jones, which I'm very happy with. And it's funny because what have I been saying? I've been saying they need a linebacker, and they need, I've been saying they need a big dude in the middle, a big 335-pound beast in the middle. Whoever that is. We've named the names, whoever that is. And darn it, isn't that what he told Jerry Jones? He told Jerry, what were the common denominators with all these teams in the NFC, the four teams in the conference championships? They all had great linebackers, great linebacker play, big boys. So again, I'm going to double down. They're going to get a linebacker in free agency, and hopefully they get that big boy in the middle. You're going to need more than one. As of now, Hankins is a free agent, so we will see if he comes back. This is where we get into the Osa Odighizuwas, whether they fit into the scheme. We have a lot of decisions to make in a short amount of time. So, what I would say is, get to work, Stephen Jones. Now, he also went on to say, and Stephen Jones was trolling how he does, that he had Dak Prescott's back at every turn. Literally every time Stephen A. would try and demean Dak or say something negative, he would come out, and I know you were going to say, well, he has to. No, Micah pretty much speaks for himself. So my main worry is that in order for us to go where we want to go, the Dak Prescott deal needs to get done. And I have switched to I don't think they're going to get it done before free agency. I just don't. I don't trust Stephen Jones or Jerry Jones. But Micah already went in and talked to Jerry and said what we need. Now, in saying that, Stephen A. asked him and broached the question, what came out of DeMarcus Lawrence's mouth, which we all know, the infamous interview after the game where Micah said, we were tired. Now, like Micah said, in Micah's mind, he was tired at the end of the year, and then he flipped a switch. He flipped a switch in the playoffs. He was excited. It was a new season, like it should be. And he said we need to make some changes. Now, I don't know what he meant. I'm not saying who. Does this mean DeMarcus Lawrence? Maybe D-Law isn't in our plans. If D-Law gets tired before a playoff game and can't rejuvenate himself emotionally, then that might be an issue. He didn't name names, but he said he's had conversations with Jerry, and we need some more dogs in that, listen, you don't think the teams who get to the Super Bowl are tired? They're friggin' exhausted. But you would think that you would be rejuvenated by how far you've made it. So, I didn't let that slide. We talked about his comments to Marcus Lawrence, and it's not aging very well. What's going to happen? I don't know. What direction Mike Zimmer's going to go? I don't know. But Mike is not going along with, we're tired. And Stephen A. asked him, he goes, I hear a lot of Dallas players, especially DeMarcus, saying that every week is their Super Bowl because they get everybody's best shot. Well, Micah wasn't having any of that. He goes, yeah, it is everybody's Super Bowl. But you should like the fact that you have something that gets you up every week, and that's to shut people up. See, Mike is a different cat. He's like the new breed of player, we need a few more Micah Parsons. Not so much on the field, but in mentality. You need some more dogs that are going to get after it. You need to look at these teams that are successful and get some more dogs. I don't know who's not going to be here, but I think we're going to find out pretty soon who Micah was talking about. I'm sure he's talked to the front office. This leads me to believe that Mike is going to be re-signed. Now, you can't re-sign Mike until after March. So, just because of his contract, he's not eligible for an extension until after March. And he even said that they're not going to franchise him because, again, it would mean way too much on the cap. Micah said, you can wait. You don't have to sign me this year. It's just going to cost you more. That's a guy who has ultra confidence in himself. So, I like that. Last thing Micah said, well, he was asked, is it, like we were saying, is it hard to play for Dallas? Because he grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And it's only 2 hours outside of Philadelphia, which I know. And Stephen A. was breaking the stones. Why would you want to go to Dallas? Why would you want to go to the Eagles? Why would you go to Dallas? And he was like, I chose Dallas. He played in the Cotton Bowl or whatever, and he fell in love. He wanted to be on the, sorry, Eagle fans, he wanted to be on the biggest stage. And he's not going anywhere. Sure as hell ain't going to Philly. So get that out your mind. So playing for the Stars, there's more pressure. Does he not like it? He says it's a privilege to play with the star on your helmet. A shout out to you, Micah. And he said more players need to feel the same way. Some players can't deal with all that. You're playing for the most visible team anywhere, worth over $9 billion, which they actually said it's more like 10. Some people would rather go play for a Washington Commanders or a Carolina Panthers, make their money, or a Tennessee Titans, make their money, stay under the radar. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to win, it's like playing for the Yankees. Not everybody can play for the Yankees and deal with that media. If you want to win, there's no better place to win than in Dallas or in New York or Philly. Philly's a big city. So, I was glad to hear that. We need more players that embrace playing for Dallas and not run away and say, oh, well, everybody's, like we're taking everybody's best shot. So, hold on a sec. Sorry about that. So basically what Micah was saying, because Stephen A. was grilling him over and over regarding Dak versus Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts. And Micah has said what I've been saying, and I tell everybody who trolls me, I tell everybody. At the end of the day, there's only one person that's happy. I keep hearing from Eagle fans, oh, well, Dak's had 8 years. Jalen's got the same amount of playoff games, and he's only had 3 years. Again, it's a team game, people. The bottom line is there's only 2 quarterbacks that have Super Bowls in Dak Prescott's career. Mahomes, who ultimately might be the best ever, and Tom Brady, who is regarded as the best ever right now. So everybody else can just zip it. If you lose in a Super Bowl, nobody remembers you. Nobody cares. Like Micah said, if I win Defensive Player of the Year and we lose in the playoffs, it means nothing. If Dak wins MVP, it means nothing. Football is a team game. They only remember the winners, people. Danny White, ex-Cowboys quarterback, had many of great seasons. Never got to the big game, or never won the big game. Nobody really cares. Randall Cunningham was dynamic, was the ultimate weapon. You remember that? He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, the ultimate weapon. Did he ever win nothing? No. Nobody remembers Randall like he was some great quarterback. Listen, he was a good quarterback. You don't have a lot of playoff wins. Does that diminish how good he is? No, it don't. So, again, I'm glad Micah was able to check Stephen A. And Stephen A. did admit that Dak should have gotten more first place votes, because Micah was telling him about Lamar. No, he was putting no shade on Lamar, but he was basically saying that Lamar Jackson had an unbelievable defense. And he goes, well, you finished ranked 3rd. He goes, yes, but we always had a lead. That's what Mark would always talk about. You know, it's easy to play downhill defensively when you can just pin your ears back and rush the passer. When you got to worry, like when they were down against Green Bay, it was a wrap for everybody. Yeah, they were down 14-0 with Dak through the pick 6. Yeah, that sucked. It did. But Green Bay's knowing that you're going to throw the ball. It's just again, team game. I know we got our Dak lovers, we got our Dak haters. Unfortunately, if we're going to go far, we need to re-sign Dak. And Micah Parsons said it all. So go check out that video with Stephen A. It was pretty entertaining. I just saw it for the first time. But I'll check back with you later. We're almost where we're going. Game Time Ryan is out late.